Good evening, and welcome to We All Gon' Die Wednesday. Livingston Man, roll that beautiful bean footage. We all gon' die! Good evening, everybody, and welcome to We All Gon' Die Wednesday. The Prepping Mantis, Scott Trudell, Tracy K, Coffee First and Speak, my man Marco, Santiago, what's good, my brother? Big Dog in the house, Johnny Preps, Wolfang, Ghost Lincoln. How's everybody doing tonight? William Case, Prepping Artist, Dawn E, Shauna C, Kevin Ramsey, what's good, everybody? Chief Dog, how are you? Patty S, Wisconsin Farm Boy, everybody's in the house tonight. Livingston Man! It's going down, man, doesn't it? I tell you what, you look at the news headlines right now, and it's never felt so we all gonna die Wednesday, Livingston Man. It's never felt so we all gonna die Wednesday.
Tension been ratcheted up.
For real, for real. Any headline you go look at, it's death and destruction. It's death and destruction. Here it comes. It's coming for you. Death and destruction. Death and destruction. And no different here on the We All Gonna Die Wednesday. I mean, it's in the title. It's in the title. The problem is at our door, Livingston Man. It's here. We've been telling you forever. Get your preps together. Get your stuff organized. Get your shit together. Get some medical training. Get some training. Get out. Train with your gear. Train. Prep. Repeat. I hope y'all are doing the things, man. I really, really do. I don't want to see anybody that I know go without if things get bad. So please make sure you're up in your game. Store what you can, shop the sales, get what you can. I know money's tight. Prices are up. Your wages certainly are not. Am I right? Can I get a 1 in the chat? If you wish that paycheck was bigger every freaking week, yeah, it's gotta be. We need to up the wages, guys.
Well, yeah, that's a key ingredient of the zeitgeist of America, right?
Yeah,
now,
man. Everybody's
the price of everything has gone up except the price of your labor. As soon as you attempt to negotiate that,
it's like yeah.
We think you are.
Even if you make enough now, Hunterin, it's gonna start chipping away at it, man. It is.
He's independently wealthy. He's got connections.
Do your chores, prep, have fun, repeat. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, Eric. You gotta live life too, guys. You can't be worried about everything all the time. I mean, something's gonna get us eventually, right? That's in the We All Gonna Die name too. So. Melody Allard, I saw that. That's something I wanted to bring up tonight. Thank you for mentioning it. The Marines canceled the annual ball coming up in November.
That's heavy, bro. We should totally buy Jackeries in cases of MREs. I mean, the Marines ain't having the dance.
But they say the reason why they're
all
doing
vague.
this.
I seen it.
It was, the Marines have a responsibility to be
continuing
Marines.
mission and what? Okay.
So,
ridiculous.
The optics, how that looks, that doesn't look very good. It looks like on the surface that between now and the time the ball comes, these boys may not be there to attend the ball.
Well, I think it was more of like, they don't want to be looking like, oh, we out here having a big party while, things are in flames in some places.
Could be.
Talking about optics, because they were
I'm
gonna eat
more-
shit. They'd have ate shit either way.
Yeah, I'm a little more concerned that it's a, they said it was their readiness, that they had to be ready at all times. So I'm wondering if they're concerned about that, that these guys might have to, take off in a rush in the middle of the night. You never know. It seems that we said things keep ratcheting up every day. It's another step in the wrong direction, and more reason to stack it to the rafters, guys. I can't stress it enough. Yeah, man, it I don't know. You guys got to feel it too, man. It feels like the other shoe is about to drop. Kind of all sitting around waiting for the next big thing to happen.
That's why we always
whoever knows what it is. I mean,
that's why we always find ourselves in a situation. I don't know how many live streams ago where I got on it like this, where it was people say, if you went back in time, you change one little thing, you might alter the whole future. But nobody considers that if you change one little thing right now, then again you can
totally
alter the entire future. And the fact that, like you just said, everybody's just kind of sitting back. Now, I'm not trying to talk about, I guess this kind of ties into some kind of activism here, whatever that means to you. But if you're playing a rigged game against cheaters, it's your fault if you're still playing it.
Yeah, you gotta find a way out, man.
And whatever you believe and whatever matters to you out there, stop being fed this narrative. Stop sitting back waiting for something that somebody else said is wait for it. You guys wait for it. And the whole world holds its breath when we could be not only preparing, but you know what the greatest prep would be? The making preparations to where we don't need to worry about having to have preps.
Yeah, if you could build a world where you don't need that,
But you know why? You know why we don't try is because we quote unquote can't, which is slang for don't want to, and that's why complacency.
Yeah,
You can stack your sacks of beans and rice until you're blue in the face.
Yep.
But if you're not actively seeking to actually change, better to have it and not need it, you guys.
Well, especially if things go the way that they're looking like they might go. Every day another little chunk of the world becomes war-torn, Livingston, man. Every day another natural disaster happens somewhere. Shit happens, folks. Shit happens. Preparedness is your insurance for that shit happening. At least you have something to fall back on to get you through. Even if it's just the initial, maybe you're just into basic preparedness, and that's kind of your gig, and you're, 2 weeks worth of food in the pantry in case, the power fails and we can't get to the grocery store because we live in the middle of nowhere. Maybe you're that person. Maybe you're, the 30-day guy, and you've got, 30 days worth of food stored, and you're good for at least a month. If the grocery stores fall apart, you bought yourself a month. Maybe you're the 1 year guy. You the man. You the man. If you got enough food for a year, you're in a good way. You're in a good way.
But you're not. You know what? Conversely,
okay,
you're compromised, and here's why.
Okay.
With that much supply, that much,
you're tethered to it.
You're stuck.
Yeah, you're tethered to it for sure.
So that's the bug in versus there should be three of them, right? There's the bug in, the bug out, and something in between.
The fence sitter, I guess we'll call them.
Bug mobile,
Yeah, totally could do it.
All of us are.
Eric, thank you so much, my friend. Greatly appreciate your donation.
It's a spectrum.
Absolutely.
Everybody personally lives somewhere on that Roy G. Biv spectrum.
Yeah. Livingston, man, I'm kind of the fence setter myself. I have all the bug out gear and everything. Everything's set. The bags are packed. If everything falls apart, we can just grab the bags, and I know that we can survive at least a few days out of the bags alone, each of us. but I also have my stuff stored in totes in case I have to huck it in the car and get out of Dodge for chemical spill, wildfire. Really not too common here in the Hudson Valley, but wildfires. Chemical spill is one that I keep coming back to because I'm not too awful far from the railroad tracks, and the wind does tend to blow west to east around here.
Those were going off for a long time, and then they next thing you know, we just had to know all about like all this stuff going on in foreign countries and stuff. You know, trains are still crashing, right? They just don't tell you that.
Scott says the Marines will always celebrate the Marine Corps' birthday, even at the unit level.
I was thinking
they read the 13th commandment. The message, happy 248th birthday, brothers and sisters. Semper Fi, Marines.
To the Marines.
To the Marines. But get your stuff, get it together. Rip, it's Wednesday. Welcome. We've made it this far. We're hoping to get to hear from Black Star tonight. See if we've made it to tomorrow. You know, these Wednesdays, I enjoy them when they show up because I get to spend them with you guys talking about this stuff. And hopefully we hear from Black Star and we know that we've made it to tomorrow before we get off here tonight. At least the world has made it to tomorrow. Papa's Farm says, off-site cache. Yes, if you have a place that you can cache things, I would recommend on a relative's property, a friend's property, something like that. Store some food, store some medical supplies. You can stash some things.
Maybe even like, at work or a job site.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a friendly place. Old Mutt said he upgraded his Food Saver vacuum sealer with Mylar quilted vacuum sealed bags. Ooh, fancy.
Gucci.
Old Mutt's getting fancy. I'm sure that those are much more durable than like the Food Saver type bags. Oh, and pro tip, if you're getting Food Saver bags, buy the Game Saver ones. Spend a little bit more. They're much thicker than the... he's switching it up on me. They're much thicker than the regular old Food Saver bags. So they're a little more durable. They expect you to be vacuum sealing things with bones in it and stuff like that. So
I always found the original vacuum sealer bags to be pretty like durable. So if they've upgraded those even further. A word about food sealer bags. Cut them a little big.
Yeah.
So you can use them again if you have to.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Like, wash it out, like clean it if possible. And like you could use it again provided you have access to the resources to make your food sealer work. But yeah, don't sell yourself short. When I was being taught to do electric work, I was leave some for the next guy.
A little extra wide,
right?
Yeah. Coffee First Then Speak says, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, are you selling raffle tickets still? I have not yet begun to sell raffle tickets.
Started to sell.
Haven't even started to sell raffle tickets yet.
All y'all bots.
But I
Email
can tell you something. If you guys don't know about the best water purifier on planet Earth, boom, the Grail GeoPress. There is a twin to this one, and it happens to be in that bug out bag, Livingston. Man, I just want to show the folks what you get when you order one of these here Grail GeoPresses. Now this one you can barely see it because it's the black covert edition.
Colorblind people can't even see it, bro.
Yeah, it just disappears. The Grail GeoPress, 24 fluid ounces of purified drinking water in 8 seconds. Links in the description section below.
Hold it up again.
He wants me to hold it up again. Boom, the Grail. Oh, there it is. He brought a little color into our life. How about that, guys? Yeah, covert black. It actually has the black filter in it too, so it's dark, hides, it's not shiny and bright. And they're fantastic, guys. I can't say enough about these things. So
what are you doing with that?
This one?
Yeah. You're just showing it to people?
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta have them. Rapture ready. Yeah, 8 seconds, pretty fast.
Flex.
Just put them in there, press it. You got to open the cap a little bit. Press it. About 8 seconds on a brand new filter. If you get up to, I think it was 20 seconds, if it takes 20 seconds to press that water, it's time to replace your filter regardless of how many presses you have on it. Okay? They say you get 350 presses out of one of these filters. That comes out to about 65 gallons of water. So that's like a 55-gallon drum plus a little bit. So it'll do a whole lot of water. If you're going hiking, you're going anywhere, and you're worried about drinking water, this is the way, man. This is the way. The Grail
Coffee first,
Geopress.
that's a great deal. Like, wow.
Yeah.
The filters, now, not only do they last for however many presses you just...
Oh, that's fantastic coffee. Fantastic.
But to
What a
get like
steal.
buy the thing, it comes with a filter anyway, and you get an extra one. That's
Yeah.
killer. Like go for that.
Yeah.
Like easily. That's
Yeah, now
that's
you
a
got
no-brainer.
130 gallons of purified drinking water. You know, at a gallon a day, they say that you should consume. That's hey, that's 100 days.
That's math.
100 days.
You figure it out. Now, can I ask a question? Maybe you know.
I couldn't get the link to work. Maybe it's me. Maybe I typed it wrong.
So I'm gonna go out in the field with my grill. Now I brought my grill
To
out.
my donations equal entries. Not yet. Once we announce everything, that I got to do it totally separate, and I'm trying to find a way because I'm not a non-for-profit, but I want to donate to a non-for-profit. So I'm not sure how this whole thing is going to work on the legal side. There's a couple different places I went to see about doing maybe perhaps an online raffle or something, and I have to be a 501c3 to even do a raffle.
Right, and there's like middlemen and stuff involved with all that. Like
Yeah.
you can't
it's
just
weird,
have a
man.
raffle. It's not like your local VFW.
I thought it was cake, man. I bought some raffle tickets. I was like, hey, you know, I guess if you do it in person, that's one thing. But
You could, as long as you like, but you just have to trust it.
yeah,
I
some
would,
some states don't even allow you to have raffles. They're like totally illegal.
well, it's because you're crossing state lines with what's
Yeah, and they
considered gambling.
Yeah, they consider it a form of gambling. So,
I wanted to ask about the Grail.
okay,
So I have the little one.
the Ultra Press. Yeah.
Right. So and then I took it out for the weekend. I used it a couple times. Then I brought it home and I was like, now I assume, and I didn't plan to use it for a minute. I was like, I assume I need to dry out this filter. And indeed, it came with instructions on how to do that for storage. Like you have to dry this thing well. You can use the filter, but then you have to take the whole thing apart, dry it well.
Yeah, I actually leave mine out of the Grail for a couple of days, and once it's empty and I've dried it all out, I try to press as much water out of it as I possibly can. Take it off, leave it in the drying rack or the dish drainer, and let it sit there for a couple of days. Man,
Okay,
you gotta
now-
let it dry out.
That was the prelude. Now, the question is, what if, of course, you can't do that if you're trying to live out of it in the field. Like, this is your only source of clean water.
Oh yeah.
So, that's...
Well,
do
you're
you
never.
know that's... Can you do that? Can you carry around a wet Grail?
Well, I
essentially?
wouldn't want to keep. I
For a
would want to
week-
keep it
for a week?
full of water. I wouldn't want it. You know, eventually that,
wouldn't want
that
it, like,
stuff's going to
empty.
get
You're right. Okay.
musty and things like that. You know, it's going to smell a little funky. But it's a a carbon filter.
Or
You
is it-
should
is
be
it-
able to press that right out of it.
Or is it something like a let's call it a camera battery, where like, okay, so you're gonna press water, and then like, all right, like say you're gonna sleep overnight. Like, what is the filter like? You know, I'm feeding off Hunter here. Where he was wanting to know how does it kill bacteria. I assume it's like activated charcoal or something.
Yeah.
But I was wondering like about carrying around a wet Grail. I'm gonna call it.
Right.
Which,
I don't know, Livingston, man. That's a really good question. That's a really good
or
question.
should there be two filters? Like you have two pairs of socks, one you're wearing and one you're not. One of them's drying and the other one's being used.
I don't think so. I imagine, when you're done with it and you're going to put it away and you're like done with it, that's when you want to, prep it for storage, I would say. But just being out there for a couple of days, I mean, it's only 24 ounces of water. So unless you're sitting at the river and, purifying water and transferring it to a bigger container to carry around, I think I would just constantly be using it. When I hiked the high peaks With the guys, I used it all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
always constantly picking it up and pressing. Ultra press.
Yeah,
It's a smaller one.
The stupid thing that I got, I don't even know what it's called, but I have one. Yeah, but it's small. It's 16.9. It's the size of a water bottle. So this would be a thing like you'd kind of be trying to keep this thing full.
Yeah,
but
I think you're going to use it a lot more than you think.
And the question was legit. I wasn't because I don't know. I've never heard it discussed. Like, can you just carry the thing around? Like, how long is it good for in the field? Like, where you can't dry out the filter. It's in constant use. Is it still the same as being able to take it out and whatever else? I guess we'll have to test it.
Yeah, Hunter, and I'll have to. You'll have to go to the website and check out the specs. They have everything listed on there, and take a look at it and let me know your thoughts. You know, he's a New York State certified water operator. He does know water better than anybody else when it comes to treating water or anything like that. Hunter is my go-to because he knows drinking water. It's kind of his thing.
He quote can't wait until people kill themselves pouring bleach in their water supply because they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, you know, don't take water purification lightly. You can get really, really freaking sick or die from getting really sick from not drinking clean water. Let's see, the ultraviolet. Tony Gott says, ever think of the pen that uses the ultraviolet light? Now, I've seen them used. Our good buddy Jay Creature uses a UV pen. I prefer the Grail, man. I trust in it. You know, I really trusted in it when after like a day and a half of pressing water out of the pond, I was hiking up to go fishing, and I came across Mr. Beaver swimming in his pond, and I did all right. So, Eric, hello to the boss lady. Hello, boss lady. Happy we all gonna die Wednesday. Rip Curl says, I use the Grail for drinking water directly from it. I use my Catadine pump filter to fill up my Camelback bladder. That's the way to go, man. We were using a gravity filter at the camp for larger amounts of water. If you were going to, cook yourself something or needed to wash a pot or your hands or anything like that, we had the gravity filter there. We used a Sawyer Mini, a Platypus filter, gravity filter, and then a carbon element at the end, and nobody got sick that weekend from drinking pond water. So props. That
sounds like a disclaimer. What did they get sick from?
Not from the water. They didn't get sick at all.
There you go. Okay, so nobody got
we got
sick.
We got sick because we had to leave. It was so beautiful up there.
He was like, nobody got sick. Asterisk from the water.
Rip Curl says, know your formulas for using bleach. Absolutely. Department of Redundancy department. It's the way to go.
If your water's not clean, unclean water has led to more like just problems than probably anything else, like typhoid or typhus, whatever it was.
Yeah, man.
Cholera.
It's bad.
They traced it back to a single well in like London somewhere. Like the guy was like, "This is where people are like literally getting sick from."
Yeah.
Because there was fecal matter and septic material in the well.
Terrible.
Bad water. And it gave
I'm drinking other things as Texas Surplus Pro. Good to see you, brother.
A cool, interesting thing about history is you may or may not be surprised to find out that most of like history was like, if not blind drunk, straight hammered.
Robert, what's happening? Happy we all gonna die Wednesday.
Alcoholic beverages, whether it was beer, mead, wine, or spirits.
It's purified water.
It's safer, and it certainly couldn't have poison, bacteria and stuff. They didn't even know what bacteria and stuff like this was. They only knew that water is bad. History itself can be chalked up to motherfuckers had too much to drink. Because it was safer than water. Water purification is a relatively modern thing.
Yeah.
To be able to turn on your tap and drink that water, that's a 75-year-old, maybe 100-year-old thing.
Anne Marie says, always have more than one backup water filter. I could not agree more. Let's see. Yeah, the tablets, Tony Gotts, those things make my water taste terrible, man. I would rather filter and boil and purify and a carbon or a charcoal filter will take out any of that taste. You know, if you're drinking pond water, if you use a regular old water filter without a charcoal or a carbon element, it's going to taste like pond water no matter what. Dan Rose, doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Just saying, a bottle of Jameson will not
poison you. Unless you drink the whole bottle of Jameson. And you know,
ironically, it is poison, but won't poison. We all know.
Scott, I agree totally. 2 is 1 and 1 is none.
Hunter, I know.
When it comes to water filters...
Hey, Outlaw Jackson, why don't you talk to me when, like, Hunter sends you a video of him flexing his fucking calves, bro?
That was pretty funny.
It was like 6:45 in the morning. I'm like, oh, Hunter tagged me in a post. And I looked, I'm like, this is something else right here. This is one for the books here.
Sunset, good evening, good evening. 1 bottle equals 2 days. Well, yeah, there you go. You have your
in the camping survival, like out of the house scenario. I like to I go with the Rumpelmans.
Oh yeah.
It's a
mouthwash and it kills bacteria. You can clean your hands with it, right?
It's 100 proof peppermint schnapps. I call it night, man. Because what happens is like
it's a Livingston man's NyQuil.
Yeah, because what happens if I don't fall asleep first, I won't fall asleep at all because motherfuckers be snoring. And
it's true. It's true.
I fucking hate y'all. Fucking snoring ass motherfuckers because y'all like with your sleep apnea and shit. Yeah, I could do. You ain't never heard or seen yourself. I know you haven't because if you did, you'd be fucking terrified. All right, imagine you're sleeping next to the homie. You know, he's like, and then all of a sudden they just be like. And you're like,
is it over?
Is he fucking dead? Is he fucking dead? And you're like, and you start to doze off, and you're like, I fucking hate y'all. And you're like, oh man. And you wake up in the morning talking about, I slept like a baby. Yeah, you did, didn't you? You sorry sack of shit, you selfish motherfucker.
You need to know the folks in your group.
I take snoring personally. Oh, you can sleep and I can't.
You need to know who snores, who makes noise at night when they sleep. They have to be put in a spot where that's not going to be a problem for your group. If
5 fucking miles away. That's the logistical issue with the fucking. You ever seen these motherfuckers? They shake the ground. I can't hear you. I can feel you, dog. All right, like listen. We need to get this guy the fucking some shock absorbers or some shit. All right.
Chief Dog says NY Prepper gave us a huge shout out this afternoon. NY Prepper's a great dude, man. He was a big inspiration for starting the YouTube channel, and great guy.
Don't be calling people out.
Don't listen. It's not just Santiago. There are countless people who snore like rolling thunder, especially when they get that country air in their lungs. It has a tendency to do that. I may be one of them and just not know it yet. I don't know.
I think that also see
he didn't say I was, so yeah, it's definitely me.
My wife says that I snore, but I know that she's lying because I am perfectly silent and would never bother anyone with my sleeping.
Eric, yeah, I agree, man. I can't wait to do another bug out weekend or
I know sleep apnea is real. I just know that the motherfuckers that suffer from it refuse to acknowledge it.
Sometimes
they just. I'm not saying they're malicious about it. I'm saying that oftentimes they're simply not aware. Like you're unconscious. I don't expect you to understand that you'd be rumbling.
Johnny Prep says I'll record it next time while conducting the symphony. That I tell you what.
It's a real thing. There's videos.
When you guys are gonna wake the next event. You're gonna wake the Livingston man up snoring, and he's gonna get the GoPro, and he's just gonna go through camp, and he's gonna be like, "This is so and so," and he's gonna dox you right there, and then he's gonna walk on to the next one and
when
dox
I said,
you, and then
when
the
I
next
said
one
I
and
take
dox
it,
you.
when I said I take it personally, I fucking do. I have had extremely realistic visions of I was gonna hold the pillow over this homie. I was gonna fucking kill the guy. I was like, you know what?
But hey man, listen, it's important to consider these things, especially if you're in a bug out scenario. You know, do I snore like rolling thunder?
They should put all the snorers together.
Am I in a safe place where I can snore like, you know, rolling thunder? And I think folks are going to find out that true exhaustion is going to bring snoring out in a lot more people.
I sound like this when I sleep. I'm like.
Right.
But then you got the homie next to you.
Oh, Wolfgang talks in his sleep. That's it.
I'll talk
we leave
to you.
Wolfgang at the gate.
I'll talk to you. I'll be steering you through your dreams, dog.
Livingston should remix all of our snores into a song. If there was a person alive that could do it.
Okay, now rhythmic snoring I can get with. When you have like a steady like rhythm, what I'll do is just offset my breathing so that like when I'll match my breathing to yours where I can't hear you. It's these fucking people with the irregular shit, like I said, pulling the fucking dubstep remix. Like you snoring out here sounding like the dubstep remix. I can't handle it. I'm not hating. I'm just.
Papa's Farm, I'm with you, bro. I sleep in my sleep. I don't know.
I had this dream that me and my buddy was ghost hunters, right? And the spirits started coming out the ground. And I'm like, oh, we bugging, right? We gotta start pulling out like ecto fucking cooler or whatever the hell them Ghostbusters was using, you know, don't cross the streams, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, and like, bro, you know, fucking. I woke up, I sat up straight in the bed. I said, bro! Man, Mrs. Livingston's like, what? I'm like, you ain't bro.
Wolfgang is with you. Wolfgang woke himself up one night yelling, fuck you. Snoring will keep the bears away, but attract cougars.
What kind?
Oh, man. But, hey, you need to know what you're working with when SHTF. Before you guys find a spot where you think you can cash out, that you need to ask, who are the snorers?
Wolfgang, actually, I wake up, fart, go back to sleep. I make that everybody else's problem.
Like, Patty S says, bring your CPAP machine and a battery bank to power it. Problem solved. Absolutely.
Does those things...
Scott, that's exactly what it comes down to is know your mag, know your people, you know, know who needs what in your group. If you have folks who have addictions, even if it's cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, anything, prescriptions, know what you're up against and prepare for it. Guinness makes the best farts.
I was going to make the most terrible joke, and then I was like, no, you know why? Because they're going to get mad. Listen, I know y'all with the sleep apnea, and it's not your fault.
It sucks.
You know, I want to make the joke, and I'm just not gonna. I'm not. It's funny, but
he's done. He's done.
Darth Vader over here at night and sleep. There, I did it. So.
What an asshole! Can't take him anymore. Oh man.
Beep. Beep.
He's out of control.
She was like, don't say nothing crazy. And I was like, nope.
Nope, not doing it.
Nope.
Livingston, man, we did have some doomsday articles to discuss this evening. I don't know.
Number one.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah. Have you guys heard about this? This was, I heard a little bit about it, and I was like, really?
It appears that in Denver, Colorado, a heavily armed man killed himself rather than carry out an apparent plan to shoot up a mountaintop amusement park in Colorado. His body discovered in a bathroom next to words scrawled on the wall, quote, "I am not a killer," authorities said. This fellow was, he offed himself in the women's bathroom in the Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park. He's found by the maintenance crew before the park opened to the public.
Yeah.
He did himself in. And he had the old, the classic AR style rifle, of course, a
Yep,
semi-automatic handgun,
handgun.
and explosives, some real and some fake. I saw in another article.
Yeah, he said he was wearing body armor and tactical clothing similar to what police SWAT team members might wear, authorities said.
I am not a killer, I just wanted to get into the caves, quote, was written on a wall of the bathroom where this fellow's body was found. Garfield County Sheriff Lou Valero, he said that nearby was a handgun and explosive device, some real and some fake, he said. The rifle was on a counter nearby along with a duty belt holding several ammunition magazines.
Interesting, guys.
They would not say for certain that Medina wrote the message, so I mean we can, I guess, infer that someone fucking else did. But okay, there was no prior indications at home or the school suggesting he was planning any attack. But given the preparation and the amount of weapons and ordnance he had, it almost seemed very highly likely
this
he was
is a
going to.
really, really weird one.
He chose not to.
Yeah, really, really
now,
freaking weird.
It's articles like this where a lot of people get caught up, really, really swept up in like overseas events and stuff like this.
Yeah, this is the homemade stuff, man. This is the shit that'll get you.
When the homies and the people say things like "keep your head on a swivel," this is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Hamas guys are not going to come paragliding from fucking Israel into Livingston. You know what I mean? But
Probably not.
all of a sudden, you show up and and there's some nonsense like what we just described here going on. This is the keep your head on a swivel shit.
Yeah.
Your real life, your actual surroundings, your way home, all that.
Yeah.
I often joke on Mike's posts.
Greenleaf said it. I hear voices. That's a very common narrative with folks who carry out these kind of things.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, they're hearing voices. And hey, if you have somebody that you know who is in this kind of position, go get them some help, hands down.
And make them take it.
Old Mutt totally could be. Survival Buzz, hello, good evening. Welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday.
Well, this if we're gonna go we're gonna question this route, and you should. This is
what everybody tells them to do.
The classic dime a dozen cookie cutter mass shooter. He's wearing the costume. He's got the right evil black gun. He's but that maybe he decided I can't do this. An inquiring mind would indeed start to wonder how come though they pop up everywhere and anywhere. These guys are all the same MO, same.
Interesting.
They're literally wearing the same uniform. Is this a movement or is this some kind of brainwashing cult? Is this
a lot of
Manchurian
folks in the chat think
candidate?
that this is kind of what that is.
Manchurian
Oops
candidate,
says that
false flag.
he heard voices after getting new hearing aids from the VA, his sister claims. That's very interesting. Monica Schaefer, good evening. Welcome to We All Gonna Die Wednesday. Why don't the voices ever say, hey, let's go play mini golf? Rapture ready, I'm with you. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Fish sticks, good evening. I don't understand. We've had this discussion, Livingston, man, and I brought it down to, I think they trigger people with algorithms.
The damn 5G will get them too.
Algorithms. I think it's targeted algorithms.
They lead them down rabbit holes.
And folks who are on pharmaceuticals tend to have issues like this. That's like a common denominator. They were on prescription drugs. And
or stop taking.
Hey, listen, man, when you get into something online and you start searching for it, the algorithms pick that up and you don't have to search for it anymore. They're going to force feed it to you all day long.
It's not malignant. It just thinks you
That's
like
the way the algorithms work. And
somebody
wants
to make you happy.
with a bad mental state, I think that those algorithms can push people over the edge,
And I think that third parties are watching and in some cases can be like, hey, we got a candidate here. Let's see. And if I may say so, is that American federal law enforcement has been known to push people to the edge just to be like, look, we've foiled a plot. When they were the ones egging it on the whole time. You wonder how much of this kind of thing is that. Because they can't arrest them until they commit the crime, but they can provoke them and poke them until they do it.
You know, you really hope not. You really hope not. But
proven over and over again.
Man.
What is hope but not a
good plan?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you really like to hope the U.S. government and its justice arm does the right thing, but what evidence do you have that they have ever done that?
Zero.
It's a tough place to come from.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. I you know.
I'm not coming out for this guy. Whatever he was up to, fuck that. Okay,
Yeah.
let's be clear.
I don't know, man.
But I wonder, it begs the question, why do these guys always pop up in the damnedest of places on some bullshit like this,
All
dress
the time.
same,
Cherokee survival.
dress the same, look the same, act the same, are the same? Like, where did they find these people? What is the deal here? Is there a genetic?
man.
Is there a genetic marker here we should be looking for? What is this? What causes this syndrome?
There's got to be a lot of
normal people don't do this.
common factors. There has to be.
Mentally
There
ill
has to
people
be.
do this.
I mean, aside from they
What
had
triggers-
firearms,
what triggers-
aside from all that,
They should call it like mass shooter syndrome. What causes it?
Yeah.
Is a specific
survival
pathology.
buzz, you are absolutely correct. This is the route that majority of them take before law enforcement, gets to them. They opt out, shall we say. Johnny, perhaps I
Manchurian Candidate comes to mind.
Pharmaceuticals.
And internet.
But nobody will say it. Nobody will say it.
Internet addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta step right off real quick.
Oh, he's just taking it all by himself. He's done with it. He's done with it. Safety first. Safety first. Maybe they filtered their water with a grill. Probably not. That stuff's good, man. Eric says Darwinism. Well, yeah, I agree with Darwinism, but not at the expense of other people. If folks want to Darwin themselves, Darwin away. Don't. Jay Creature totally could be. I don't know, man, but something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. You know, they do studies on every freaking thing in the world, but there's very few of these people left to study, right? I mean, all you have is their track record, their past, whatever they left behind, because majority of them ain't here to talk about nothing. Patty, yes, absolutely. Going on meds or coming off meds. Sometimes changing meds can do that to people too. Papa's Farm, have a great night.
Perimeter sweep complete. No hostile actors detected.
We good.
Can't be too safe these days. So what else is the trouble? Of course, there is this whole shit going on.
Oh Lord. This is a nightmare, guys. Old Mutt, I'm not sure. It was a problem before that. And it's still a problem now, so I'm really not sure.
Can't be. This was happening before that happened.
Yeah.
And what happens is that some people chalk this up to the availability of weapons, but it falls apart under scrutiny.
Survival Buzz, have a great night.
Because there's like an outrageous amount of weapons. Like there's like 2 for every one of us or something like that here in America.
Yeah.
And the amount of firearms that are used in crime are vastly inferior to the amount that are not.
Oh, correct.
But everybody points like, look, they're using all the guns for all the crime. Blatantly and factually not true.
Oh, Papa's Farm, still in the house.
Of course, as
Fish Sticks was waving to you. I thought they were saying goodnight.
all of our subscribers are big-brained, conscious, objective people.
Absolutely.
And of course, they must have realized that the way the story is initially presented is often not at all what actually happened.
Ain't that the truth? Prepperines, good evening.
Whenever you're like, oh, and it's like whenever they start making a big deal about what kind of gun the guy had, you're like, and you'd start to know where this is going here.
And here it comes.
Here it comes.
Things in the Middle East are not looking good, folks. You can read the writing on the wall. You can read the writing right here next to us. It's not good. It's not good. We are sending Blinken over there to beg, borrow, and steal with every Arab country to render some kind of peace deal to get this done with before it becomes a global catastrophe, which is the track it's headed down, Livingston, man.
What's going to be interesting here is this is going to be a Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our six-sided friends there are going to end up making a pariah state of themselves. Where, listen, we get it, man. You got to do what you got to do, but we can't fuck with you, bro. Like.
Yeah. You went and did some pretty heinous shit
now,
to right this wrong. I mean,
and there are calls from all over the world, from the damnedest of places.
So do you think
about disproportionate use of force?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, rifles
I'm not.
Versus
I almost
rock.
said. I almost said I get it and I understand, and I take that back. I don't get it and I don't understand.
Yeah.
All I can imagine is that I respect the whole never again thing. But I gotta say that what I find interesting is that the guys saying never again are the ones acting a little bit like the guys who did the thing that made them say never again.
Yeah.
I personally believe that what's happening here at first was justified and has now become out of control. And
out of control, say the least, Livingston, man. This is well beyond out of control.
And yet, I'm like, you know what? Let them fight. Enough of this. Stopping the fight while everybody's both pissed.
I think trying to talk sense into them is what a lot of people are trying to do right now.
Somebody's got to go. Enough of this.
As well as kind of just, they're kind of like forming the circle around them, like the fight at school where everybody makes the big circle around them so that they can fight and nobody else gets involved, right?
It's been going on since the Bible. Enough already. Finish it. Whoever may the best guy win is all I got for you. Like, you know what?
Jay Creature wants to know, can we just focus on Taylor Swift's love interest, please?
Oh, you mean the NFL? Like the NFL using Taylor Swift as the MVP this year?
That's right. Yeah.
I don't even watch football.
The true MVP of the NFL.
I don't watch football.
Is without a doubt.
They gave me all the more
Swiftie.
reason not to.
Old T Swift.
Imagine her next album when she dumps his punk ass.
Guarantee you there's a couple hits coming out of that one.
She don't need him. You guys, the world is real fucked up. The world is all fucked up, but you know why?
It's bad. It's really, really bad.
It's bad for other people. If you really feel the need to like waste your time, life, energy, standing for some cause, whichever side you're on, whichever side you may have noticed you're constantly forced to pick.
Yeah.
Then go ahead and do that.
When they start pushing the you have to do this and you have to do that, that's when I'm like, nah, I really.
You know which one you have to say you're for. You know which one is the good guy, and you know which one is the bad guy, and it's always that way.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I said it last night.
Stay objective. Question everything.
You're either pro-terrorist right now or anti-Semite, and I'm not buying any of it.
Is there a secret third thing where like I kind of just don't give a fuck? Like I said, why don't y'all go ahead and fight over your rock-strewn fucking desert and let the rest of us get on? Because we're tired. And the reason it's not anti-Semitism. If we can go here, all right. If
Eric got censored for saying F Taylor Swift that's YouTube, man. You don't talk bad about Swiftie on YouTube. She practically owns this place.
The narrow-sighted reason that people cling to where they hate on Israel is because they're like, well, you're the problem. Everybody else, it was all fine over there. Apparently, I didn't live back then. But then
can't we just disassemble Israel and then like rebuild it off the coast of California and solve the problem? Just move them over here.
Sounds wildly like
possible
ethnic cleansing and forced resettlement.
It does indeed, but I mean, can't we just remove the problem from the Middle East Hey, everybody wants them gone and wants to kill them. We'll just dig up all of Israel and just put it off the coast of California and give them their own place. I mean, free reign of America, too, you know. Welcome to America. You're the 51st state. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here, man.
I was trying to...
Outlaw wants to just give them California.
We'll dig up California and send it there. Can we just, yeah, all right, I'm on board with this. There's your two-state fucking solution.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Holy shit.
The Palestinians...
Wow. Papa's
have
Farm
California.
almost got me earlier when I took a sip and he said that his color blindness really kicks in with the We All Gonna Die Wednesdays. It's weird. Greenleaf, I know, man, I know. It's terrible, man. The history of this thing is trouble. Micro Wolf says the Bible says the United States is the new Israel.
Where does it say that?
Yeah.
The Bible don't mention the United States. The United States is like fucking 200 years old. Unless you mean Babylon, of course. Then I know exactly what you mean. That's it. Yep. Yeah. See, Greenleaf gets it. All right, so I know what he means.
Yeah. Dan Rose says can't stand sports. If someone isn't Jewish or Muslim, why should they care? This is going to, well, it definitely has the potential to. I'm not going to say it's going to. It has the potential to turn into a much broader conflict. You know, like perhaps another war to end all wars. And there's a lot of people saying that this is going to fulfill some biblical prophecy, including the Israelis. So it's something to, you know, really take into account that this thing could be something much bigger than what it looks like on the surface. So
whenever the Middle East and especially Israel is involved, biblical prophecy starts getting pulled out. Book of Revelation says a great friend of Israel will come and it'll solve the Arab problem and it will, you know, guarantee Israel's sovereignty and all this. And they'll have a 7-year period of it's going to be a great fucking time. And then all of a sudden, the tribulation, truth that was previously hidden will be revealed. And the entire thing will be, the guy who said he was the good guy is actually the bad guy and all this. So whenever conflict in the Middle East, especially regarding Israel, happens, shit gets dramatic. Real dramatic.
Yeah,
right?
real
People
fast.
start talking about prophecy and everything else. Now, there's a couple different schools of biblical prophecy. I hope I get this right. There's the preterists. I don't know if it's post-terrorist. There's people who think that the Book of Revelation actually already happened. It's a prophecy that's already been fulfilled with the fall of Rome.
Gotcha.
They think that the whole 666 thing invokes the Emperor Nero, who was alleged persecutor of early Christians. That he was the seven-headed beast. They said the beast had an ugly stab wound, where Nero stabbed himself in the neck.
Okay.
Committed suicide. But there were rumors for years afterward that he lived and it was fake. But you could tell him by this mark. And all this. So some folks think that the book has already been fulfilled with the fall of Rome and the destruction of all that. Some folks think that that time is upon us now. And some folks think that that is all symbolism. It's not meant to convey actual real-world events, but instead of a moral thing. Okay. There are many ways to approach this, but all of them, however you wish to approach it, we're living in it now. You're watching this unfold, and you're left to decide, is this history repeating itself, prophecy fulfilling itself, or is this some third thing?
Either way, all of those equal, for me, personally, load the pantry, load the pantry, load the pantry, load the pantry. Buy more water purifiers, buy more water filters. Get ready. You know, I train with my gear. I know my equipment. But you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it in inclement weather. You got to do it when it's shitty. You know, Jay Creature's out pounding the woods every day.
Survival is not fun. If you find yourself in that situation, unless you're some kind of special kind of psycho,
yeah, you're probably not having fun.
You're going to be miserable at first, at any rate.
Eric needs a bigger pantry. Hey, store it differently.
What you need is a pantry with a bedroom in it.
Let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? We were encouraging to interpret the Bible for ourselves where I come from, says Yardbirds. I think the same way too, man. I think scriptures, holy literature, any kind of thing like that speaks to each person differently, and everybody takes it for what they get from it, I guess.
It's a lot of information to process, and part of you has to, like, noted, like, jot down the important parts, but and then the other part of you has really got to be like, all right, now practically, on the everyday level, where does this really affect me?
Yeah.
Like, one thing you maybe shouldn't do, like, don't stay glued to your phone worried about, like, minute by minute updates. Now,
No.
you got relatives in Israel, Gaza, whatever. You need to stay up on the situation and do that.
Absolutely.
If you don't, look inside yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing right now?
Yeah. How can you help your own situation?
Right. Or them, or whatever. You care so much. Whether you want to donate to both of them or to a humanitarian thing, or you want to go join the Israeli army and go kill the fucking Palestinians, I don't care, whatever you want to do. You know what they say in the Alcoholics Anonymous, you got to accept the things you cannot change.
Yeah, this is one of those. There's nothing that we're going to do right now that's going to change what's going on over there. The only thing that we can do here is prepare ourselves, prepare our homes, and make sure we're ready in case craziness like that shows up in our neighborhood.
Now, of course, it's easy for all of us to sit here and armchair the situation over there. I'm not going to try to stand by my original statement. Everybody stand back and let them fucking fight. Enough of this already.
Yeah. Keep it in your own yard, and may the best man win, I guess. I don't know.
They keep picking these fights with each other, and
it's terrible to say, but it's not our fight, and it has to stop at some point, right?
These two ideologies cannot coexist, and something's got to give. Unfortunately, that's the way.
The dude knows. He says, right, fund both sides, make money. Hey.
Profit.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
I know y'all seen Hamas with those M4s, and just wondering how they got those, because I can't even have one.
Yeah.
Made in America, but I ain't never seen one.
We're not allowed.
Interesting things that happen, especially when money, guns, and
scary,
stuff
man.
is involved.
It's scary.
At some point, you got to realize that a lot of the stuff that goes on in the world is straight above you, and though you can claim to know about it, big deal.
Outlaw says they've been throwing rocks at each other since the beginning of time. Give them more rocks. I just wish we weren't involved in all of this shit. You know?
Even our high school gym teachers knew better than to stop the fight when everybody's still mad. And what has been happening for too long is the fight has been stopped when everybody's mad.
Yeah.
And all they do is use peace as a preparation for the next war. It's got to stop. Whatever's got to happen here, enough with the fucking Middle East conflict. My whole life, Middle East conflict. And American soldiers always get dragged into somebody else's bullshit in the Middle East conflict because they're allies. And I don't even want to get started on that because then I'll end up talking mad shit. But allies, we got 2 or 3 of them that actually worth their salt. The rest of them, coalition of the willing, 300,000 American troops, 100 dudes from England, and 12 guys from Poland. Fucking.
There they are.
The United Nations, 500,000 fucking United States soldiers, and a handful of dudes from the rest of the world.
Scott Trudeau says this fight will come to us. That's like my biggest concern is that something's going to come here. That's why we need to be prepared, guys. We have to, we got to have our stuff at home. We got to make sure that we can weather a storm when a storm comes. and not have to be out in the bullshit, not put ourselves or our family in danger.
Our support, this is where politics gets you. You support this guy over here. That's cool. That's your boy right there. But your boy goes like yapping, fucking barking, biting over here. So then those guys try to fight that guy. But then you're like, yo, guy, here's mad shit. And they're like, bro, stop giving that guy shit. This is our fight. You're like, no, that's our boy right there. So then they attack you, and you act like, how fucking dare you? And it's like, well,
that's my boy.
You're the problem.
Yeah.
If we're in a bar, right?
The dude says it's already here. They are here already.
You and I
believe it.
You and I are at a pool table in a bar.
All right.
I take a swing at you. You take a swing at me, but then like my homie like starts blocking your punches for me, and I keep getting to hit you, but then my homie keeps blocking, and then so finally you hit the homie.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, how dare you hit the homie that was actually fighting the war for you? Politics. This is how we get embroiled in this shit. And you know what we gotta do, right?
Yardbird says, our government says, hey, you guys knock off the fighting. Here's a couple $1 billion for the cause.
That's when I said, what we gotta do, right, is you gotta send them $80 billion a month.
That fixes everything.
Know what you gotta do.
Scott Trudeau says there are cells here already. I believe it. And Outlaw, I wish we could go back to the hot topic being Joe Biden fell up the stairs.
See, old Joe, he didn't even show up for the debate tonight.
Yeah,
Figures.
yeah.
He knows better.
Yeah.
He's probably on his way to Tel Aviv at the moment.
Yeah, he's got to go over there and settle some differences, because he's like the ultimate negotiator, Joseph Robinette Biden.
I suppose the saddest thing I saw in the news today, it was like a little bizarre and inexplicable, was that, like Preparedness said there, is they canceled the Marine Ball. I mean, blasphemy.
Oh, Joe Biden says, I'm on my way to your mom's. Welcome, Joe. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you.
You're just waiting for
yes, we are definitely past the stairs now. But man, it really feels we all gonna die Wednesday-ish, Livingston, man. I don't really particularly like it, guys.
I think that what we should do is, keep, your proverbial head on a swivel, but for more urgent matters, all right? Like when you're at the grocery store, when you're like, what? These mass shooters and these fucking people want to act a fool. They come out of left field, man.
Yep. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your eyes up. If you see something, say something.
And if you can't,
somebody acting the fool.
If you can't do nothing, then don't do nothing. Just get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not our fight, guys. It's not our fight.
Lots of heroes are ghosts, and that don't fit the survival mentality particularly. Just watch out what's going on there, but at the same time carry around the the little devil on your shoulder telling you that shit's being amped up. You're being gaslit. You're being gaslit.
You better keep a pocket knife or something.
We're not saying because they gas you up. They're like look, hate's on the rise. They hate non-Muslims, and rightly so after Hamas's barbaric attack where they gutted women and babies, and they subliminally make you hate these people and then tell you don't. You know what I mean? And don't fall for that shit.
James Carroll says, I'm afraid the sleepers will hit the small towns and not the cities.
That'd be the stupidest fucking thing in the world.
James Carroll, I think that's, it's just about hunting season. And,
the amount of return fire would be ridiculous. The cities would be the smarter place to try some nonsense like that. Those poor folks have been disarmed.
Yeah, Preparedness, that was actually our very last article of the night here that we want to get to. Just real quick before we go, we want to chat with you guys about it. This one's got to go. There it is. Terrorism alert has hit a whole new level, guys. This is from the director of the FBI. What is his name? Christopher Wray.
He says that, essentially, to paraphrase the whole first paragraph, is that he says the big players in terrorism have all renewed calls to attack America and its interests.
Not looking good, man.
He said the level of threats has heightened since President Joe Biden took office. Big surprise. with his tough talk and his hard rhetoric.
Yeah.
Though U.S. law enforcement is, quote, better prepared to deal with them, the reality is that the terrorism threat has been elevated throughout 2023, but the ongoing war in the Middle East has raised the threat of attack on Americans to a whole other level, Mr. Ray said. So, watch out.
Yeah.
If you're the type to, care.
And what do they say? Al-Qaeda has issued the most specific call for attacks in the U.S. in years.
Who?
Al-Qaeda.
Never heard of her.
Al-Qaeda.
Islamic State leaders have ordered them to attack the Jewish communities, and Hezbollah is eyeing U.S. targets in the Middle East. Iran, meanwhile, has pushed proxy attacks on military bases.
It's true. Stain 85, good evening.
He said it's true, but I would have used the words, it's what we're told. So there's that, and it ain't wrong. All right, you should always be watching out. There are people that indeed hate America and would try to do some BS. If you're the type of person who exercises your constitutional right to carry, you should do so.
Yeah, absolutely.
And remain vigilant and observant.
Yeah, very, very true. Living Cement, you bring us back to the main cam. Main cam, we ain't leaving here on this. Not doing it. Let's see. Patty S says, we're traveling in January. My daughter in February. You got to live your life. Just be aware. You are absolutely correct, Patty S. And I think that's a great note to end on tonight. The dude says, cover, save lives. Absolutely. Know the difference between cover and concealment. The bushes do not stop bullets. They may hide your presence.
I don't know, like every Hollywood movie I ever saw would beg to differ.
Don't work that way.
You can jump behind a pile of cardboard boxes and you're fine, bro.
Keep your heads on a swivel, folks. Stay safe. If you can't stay safe, stay dangerous. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. We out of here.